Cynthia Encinas-Concordia's abusive husband of 23 years died of a massive cardiac arrest just 4 months after his second restraining order. The worst part was she was blocked by his family, as Cynthia was blamed for his death. Cynthia lived in that dark bubble for 6 years. She stopped engaging with people from fear of rejection, failure as a mom and wife, depression, and felt she was lacking value. Her guilt impacted her health, her well being, and her relationships. She stopped engaging with people. Many of you will relate to her story, and Cynthia wants you to realize and understand that you do have value and you can live the life of your dreams. Stay tuned.
Have you ever felt like giving up, quitting, throwing in the towel? Welcome to Never Ever Give Up Hope featuring Carol Graham. She's an author, health coach, and motivational speaker. Backed into a corner multiple times in her life, Carol shares with you stories on how she overcame some of the toughest obstacles a person can go through in life, but refused to give up hope. Rather than admit defeat, an opportunity was presented, and it involves each and every one of you. Carol will feature spectacular guests who will share their messages of hope, encouragement, and their inspiration to prove why life's adversities only make you stronger. And now, welcoming the host of the show, here's Carol Graham.
Encinas-Concordia is a transformational life coach, published author, international speaker, podcaster, a mother, and a grandma. As a human resource practitioner at the World Bank, retired now, at headquarters Washington D.C., her job involved dealing with diverse groups of people. This professional knowledge, experience, skills, coupled with her personal life journey, led her to share and work with others to create the life that they would love to live. Welcome, Cynthia.
Hello, Carol. Thank you so much for inviting me here at your podcast. Thank you.
And we
Thank you.
look forward to your story. So, as I've laid it out for you, please
Uh-huh.
share your story from the beginning.
From the beginning. Thank you so much. Well, I've been married for 23 years, as what you have mentioned, and now I have my two children. My daughter is 33 now, with a family. That's why I'm now a grandma of a 1.5-year-old kid, daughter.
Aw,
And then my son just turned 28 yesterday, actually. During my time, but I should say, when my domestic abuse started when my daughter was only 5 months old,
aw.
back home from the Philippines. So I tried, I convinced my husband to move here to the United States so we could have better opportunities, provide the better opportunities for our children, and at the same time work on our relationship because we only see each other on weekends. He's a
Mhm.
veterinarian and he goes to different provinces. Now, when we got here, it turned out to be the other way. He was on two restraining orders. The first one, I initiated it, and he was given a temporary 72-hour restraining order. 10 years after, he continues to beat my son, and
Oh,
it was that time when my daughter started or initiated the call, and my son even requested for a 2-year permanent restraining order.
so
I
was he beating you? Is that what
He
you
was beating my son.
you were not in danger? It was your children that you
Uh,
were concerned about?
actual, actually, after because when we got home, we just came from a two soccer game, back to back soccer game for my son, And then right after that, they got home, and I picked up my daughter from a retail store where she works, American Eagle. So when we got home, my daughter asked my son, "Is it okay if you could cook rice for me?" Because she was not she didn't get a chance to sleep. When she worked overnight to change the design of the store, they had to work. They had no chance to sleep. So she was tired, and she did. And my son did not stand up and do what was requested because he was also tired from his soccer game. So when my husband asked him, "Didn't you hear what your sister just asked from you?" And then, of course, he was just in middle school, and so he went up, and then what's this? Cook rice for her. But you know that these young kids, they work, they try to say something. I mean, what do you call that?
Mm-hmm.
They complain, no?
Okay,
Just
okay.
so my so we were starting to eat, and my husband was later on, after a few minutes, we heard a commotion. So I went down, and I saw him hitting my son continuously because he felt that he was answering back. He was not following instructions immediately. So for him, it was disciplining him. So when I pulled my husband and asked my son to lock himself in his room, my daughter now told me, "Mom, I'm having difficulty breathing. Could you take me to the ER?"
Hmm,
So
hmm.
when my son, because of the situation, because my
Okay.
husband continues to follow my son to beat him, even though he was going upstairs to his room. So when my son heard that, uh, instead of my husband looking after my daughter, continued to follow my son to beat him again. So I told the two kids, "Please go to the van and we'll go to the hospital." And at that time, when I left him, he tried to hit me again. Actually, yeah, he tried to hit me, push me, so that he could follow the kids. But I immediately ran to the van and then went to the hospital. So that was the time when we had this really a commotion, and it was late in the evening, when probably at 11:30 in the evening, when my daughter initiated a call to call the police officer. She was crying after the call, and that was the time when my son also requested for a 2-year permanent restraining order. But you know what? During this 2-year period, I kept reminding my children, "Hey, your dad loves you so much, and he would still want to connect with you." And I know it was difficult for them to respond to his text messages, but I was I was overjoyed when I discovered that they invited. This was during the 2-year restraining period. No, I felt so much joy after his restraining order. They invited their dad to attend their graduation, and for me, that was the start of uh, healing for them. That the start of forgiving their dad, and
So were they
and
able to do that?
yes, he attended. We tried convincing him to sit beside us, but then he wouldn't. Probably he's still mad at me of what happened. And then after 4 months, he died of a massive cardiac arrest while biking.
Oh,
And
wow.
and the worst part was his family blocked us off from their family. Now turning 10 years this October 25th. They
So
haven't
why did they do
reconnected
that, do you think?
because they that stress that which he experienced because of the restraining order led to his heart attack. They were
Oh,
saying he
oh.
has no history in, whatsoever in terms of heart problems. So it was this that led to his heart attack. And that was the time felt I felt guilty
Of course,
because
of course.
imagine me the cause of the death of my husband. And that when you mentioned about, yes, I stopped engaging with people because I because of fear that I'll be judged.
Hmm.
Even our common friends stopped communicating with me because they didn't. I never shared my story. It was him who shared his story when he was during the restraining order. And for me, I'd rather solve the problem within the family because that's our family problem. So I never shared my story. Even my mom and my sisters never knew of what's happening at home. And that's the thing. I was in my dark bubble for 6 years. It was so hard for me to go to work and to to go to the gym. I used to go to the gym, and I stopped communicating with other people. Fear of being judged, being rejected, being a failure as a mom and as a wife.
Say, how did your children respond to everything that was going on?
It was hard for them to see me like that because I never had that motivation to go out again. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I bring joy. I bring so much happiness to the people I meet. But because I got scared of what happened, that I was the cause, I that heavy baggage which I carried did not really help me move forward towards my dream. But yes, you know what? When my son asked me, "Mom, will I be going to college?" You know what? It was like a slap on my face because I forgot that I still have a responsibility for my son. I I was depressed and found no value in my life during that time. And when he asked me, I asked him, where would you like to go to college? And then is it okay? He asked me, is it okay to go to Culinary Institute of America? Home. Uh, I've heard about the school because a lot of famous chefs graduated from that school. But when I did my research, oh my, as a single mom, as a single parent, where will I get that
Mm-hmm.
money? Imagine, I'll share with you 2014 how much the tuition fee was. First year was 50,000, second and third year were 60,000 each.
Oh, wow.
So where will I get that money? But I tried convincing him, okay, is it okay to change school? Is it okay to change your course, your program? But I could see that he was not happy. So when I suggested, okay, let's go visit CIA, you know what? When we were there was a sudden change on his face. You could see his smile is from ear to ear. You could see him visualizing actually himself living in that campus along Hudson River. It was a beautiful location. Um, and it's a private school which a lot of rich people would go, and we consider we consider ourselves not rich, but when I saw that change on his face, I told myself the only thing that I can do for my children is to support them. So what happened? That was the time I created my dream by design. Most of the time, we create our dream by default. Why? Because we are constricted by our past things. We are constricted by our fears, our limiting beliefs, our doubts and worries. But when I when I told him, you know what? I this is my gift for you. Just finish college. and I will do my best, the best that I could, so that you'll be able to complete your bachelor's degree at CIA. And when I believed that when I believed in myself, and I believed that God was with me during that time, because during that 6 year period, it was only my relationship with God that gave me strength.
Hmm.
That, and then my children. And I told myself, if I know, I believe I can do this, because with God, nothing is impossible.
Well, do you think that that pivot point then that changed, your attitude and what was going on with your emotions, etc., happened when your son wanted to go to CIA and then you just were thrown into that mode of doing what you could do for your children? Is that maybe what pole
Yes,
vaulted you to?
yes, yeah, absolutely. And
Amazing.
because if I don't have my children, I will just stay stuck there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's no way for me to motivate myself. There was no fire. But since I believe that my children they deserve also the life they love to live. They deserve to create their own dreams as well. Why should I stop them? So that was the time I created my dream by deciding that he will be able to finish college there.
What happened when you retired from World Bank? At what point was this? And something specific happened, correct?
Actually, what did I do to make my dream, to manifest my dream? Well, while I was still at the bank, I was a program assistant, and I've been wanting to apply for an analyst, to get promoted to an analyst position. That was the first thing which I focused on, my health and well-being. Before the World Bank, no, I focused on my health and well-being. I started going back to the gym first, and then reconnecting with new friends. That gave me
Oh, really?
that opportunity, or boost my confidence to reconnect with with new people, with new friends, and and actually improve my relationship with my children as well, to improve my relationship with my mom and siblings. And that was because in my health and well-being, I focused on my physical activity, mental, emotional, and spiritual. It was the spiritual which really pushed me to move forward, no? And then the second one was relationship. So I was able to reconnect, made new friends, and then boosted my confidence to perform better. And that is the third one, which is my vocation, my career. So what happened during that time? It's so hard to break the glass ceiling at the World Bank. During that time, HR offered this GE readiness program. GE is the analyst level. I'm on
Okay.
a GD level. So I applied for that. But before that, because I've been applying for several positions, but it all failed. It was all okay, interview, and then okay, we'll just get in touch with you. So uh, I told myself, okay, I need to improve my analytical skills by volunteering. So what I did, I asked my specialists, my managers, may I help you do this report? So I was trying really my best to develop my skills, the skill set needed to become an analyst. So when they offered the GE readiness program, I applied. So out of 850 plus who applied globally, 25 was declared GE ready, and I was one of them.
Aw.
And the one good thing happened was an HR admin contacted me for an interview, and of course I made an arrangement, made an appointment, and I told her I can't seem to remember applying for this position. And she told me, well, we just got 6 candidates to be interviewed from the 25. And you know what? I got the position.
Oh my
That was the
goodness.
first manifestation, I'm telling you. I know that and I believe that I can do it because
Mm-hmm.
God was there. God is there with me. And then the second one, someone advised me, why won't you, um, what's this, downsize? I used to live in a 3 bedroom townhouse. I took action, sold the house. It was hard for me to sell the house because we lived there for more than
Mm-hmm.
20 years. And I got myself a 1 bedroom condo. Half of the mortgage went. I was able to save one half of the monthly mortgage, and I saved it for my son's tuition.
Oh my
That's the
word.
second manifestation. And the third one was someone advised me, why won't you apply for grants and scholarships? I never knew about these resources because I'm an employee of an international organization and we're not eligible for this. But I'm glad my son was already a US citizen. So instead of paying 50,000 for his first year's tuition, we paid only 11,000. See?
Yes, yes.
And this sustained me until he graduated from college.
And
And I'm
did he
glad.
realize his dream then of being
Yes. After he graduated, he was able to work for 2, 3 Michelin star restaurants. He was able to work in Tulum, Mexico, in Australia, and had to come back because of COVID and became a farmer. And when I asked him, "How do you feel becoming a farmer?" Because there's a big cut in your paycheck.
right?
And then he said, "Mom, I took up applied food studies and I need background on agriculture." So while working as a farmer, he was also teaching the children in the community, about basic farming and food systems.
Oh
He, wa-
goodness.
and then he was helping moms how to prepare dishes from the local produce which they have harvested from the farm. So he tried to connect the farm and the community so both may
Yes,
benefit.
yes, yes.
And now he is advocating sustainability in the food industry and moved to Vermont as a sous chef again at Hill Farm, and then moved now to Fresno, California, managing 15 schools as a brigade chef,
Oh,
training cooks and administrators how to prepare dishes, meals for the students from scratch rather than serving them processed meals, processed food.
and was Mama proud?
Of course, of course. I'm telling you, when I told him his birthday, I am so amazed and I'm so grateful that I see you grow up, not as a great person, not only as a great person, but as a person who has a purpose to make this world or environment a
Right,
better place to live
right,
in.
right.
And my daughter, she's a project manager in one of the government contracting firms, and at the same time a volunteer firefighter. Why? Because it was the volunteer firefighter who tried to revive her dad when he
Oh
collapsed on
my
the road.
goodness. Wow.
So for her, it's give back time to save lives. So
Mm-hmm.
if I did not change my make that decision or that mind shift, I don't know what my children would
Exactly,
have become.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about your book and
Mhm.
your anthology and your podcast. So we'll be right
Yes.
back.
Carol Graham would like to show you the path from misery to miraculous triumph in her fast paced memoir, Battered Hope. She relates her determination to succeed as someone who experienced one horrendous nightmare after another. Gang raped and left for dead, loss of a child, husband falsely imprisoned, and cancer. Nothing could break her tenacity or faith. No matter what you face, heartache, loss, suffering, or injustice, Carol will illustrate how she became a victor the same way you can. The secret is to never, ever give up hope. Order your copy at Amazon or batteredhope.blogspot.com.
Continuing our conversation with Cynthia, would you please share with us the Dream to Rise?
Oh, this is my baby right now. Yeah, Dream to Rise is LLC is I'm the CEO and founder of Dream to Rise, and this is actually a journey of self-discovery towards manifesting your dream. This is for those who have gone through so much traumas in life and are unable to find their way to fulfill their purpose.
Mm,
Because, as what I have mentioned a while ago, many of us are just stuck with their fears, limiting beliefs, doubts, and worries.
mhm.
With my one-on-one coaching, group coaching, that is Dream to Rise Inner Circle. It's a subscription program for the mastermind group, and my speaking engagements and my podcast. I am committed to inspire and empower others to be the best version of themselves so they may lead the life they love.
Mhm.
That's my objective. Just like in my mastermind group, Dim Tries Inner Circle, my main objective is to help the members rise and shine
So is this
by
a
learning.
program that they go through? How do they
It
contact you?
They could get in touch with me using by visiting my website www.dreamtorise.info, and I could give a free coaching session, a 30-minute session, and then it is complete with all my podcasts, my inner circle, Dream to Rise Inner Circle, how they could register, and it's a subscription program with a very minimal fee, but it held we meet every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I give sessions and invite guest speakers to talk about different themes. And as what I have gone through in my life, my four major areas that we would talk about would be health and well-being, love and relationships, vocation or purpose, and time and money freedom. We need these four areas in our life to be able to really manifest the life we want to live. But again, as what I have gone through, I need to, the health and well being is the very basic
Mhm,
thing
mhm.
that we should start working on. And I have my group coaching. It's a 12-week program. We meet once a week. It's an online program as well. And as what I've mentioned, the Dream to Rise Inner Circle, and my podcast. And speaking engagement, if they would like to invite me to speak and inspire others and empower others that, hey, there's truly light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, that you you can you can create the life you love as long as you believe. We have that power to create the life we love. Because it's not the conditions and circumstances surrounding us,
Mhm.
but it's us.
And what do you discuss on your podcast? Do you have guests or is it an inspirational podcast or what?
Yes, I have guests. Most of the time, I invite guests who would share their story from their adversity, from the time they have experienced their struggles in life. How were they able to evolve? How were they able to uh, rise up and now doing what they want to do, impacting other people? There
Okay.
was a time that I invited someone who's still in the stage we're in. Not she's not yet sure of what she wants in life. So I had an I had what's this coaching during that time, and I also give some tips, strategies on how to about topics like how do you create opportunities,
Hmm.
how so those are topics which would really help us, inspire us to be on fire and be motivated to move forward.
And what about your book?
My book, I have my first solo book is the My Journey into Becoming, which was written 2022, and then um, I'm that that book entails my story at the same time the strategies. What have I done to overcome those struggles, the blockages which I have
Hmm.
experienced?
Hmm.
And then the second, I'm a co-author of Overcoming Self-Sabotage. And
Hmm.
then the last one, the latest, which was released early this year, Dream to Rise anthology. And I have invited other 18 co-authors to share their
Hmm.
stories,
Hmm.
the power of dreaming and rising up. We have that power within ourselves to really create that dream and that live the life we love.
So you've gone full circle, haven't you? And coming from a place of um, where you didn't even want to get up in the morning to a place where
Yes.
you are encouraging others to meeting their full potential. So, is there anything in particular that you would like to share in closing, either as a summary or just another word of encouragement or anything that you would like to leave the audience with?
Well, actually, most some issues that we always encounter is the fear. I would like to
Right.
focus on fear. No, um, we are able to overcome, manage our fears. I have four simple. I'm using the acronym. Four simple steps. First, what's this? Feel your fear. Um, how would you say that? Because fear is just survival instinct. When
Mm-hmm.
you experience fear, you know what? It's just like it tells you that there's a problem coming in, and emotions could only last for 90 seconds. So if you experience fear, don't worry. It's only fear, nothing more, nothing less. Especially if there's no existential threat. And then the second one is embrace your fear. Embrace your fear as a partner. Let it be seated at the passenger side while you are still in control of your steering wheel, driving towards your destination, and that's your dream. Your fear will give you a push, so you'll be it to make you
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable.
Right.
And when you're uncomfortable, that means you're being challenged. And when you're being challenged, that means you're going out of your comfort zone. And when you're going out of your comfort zone, that means you're learning, you're growing. Remember, opportunities are actually at the borderline of your comfort zone. And the third one is act on it. Aristotle believed that the best cure to overcome fear is be courageous. So take that uncomfortable action. Without any action, there will be no change. I had
Right.
to
Right.
take that uncomfortable action to send my son to CIA, even though I didn't have the money. And look, opportunities came up. And then the last one is repeat it. Repeat the process because results will not come in overnight. It's just like going
Right.
to the gym. If you want to lose weight or tone your body, you have to go to the gym at least 3 or 4 times a week. So, when you experience fear, feel it, embrace it, act on it, and repeat the process. And you will discover that the fear, it's diminishing now. And instead of fear overpowering you, it's you managing your fear. So I just challenge everyone, when you experience fear, just remember the acronym: feel it, embrace it, act on it, and repeat it.
Well, your passion is contagious. And and the excitement that you have, not only because you're relating your story to what happened to you, but how your passion now is to help others. And that comes through loud and clear. And I sincerely
Oh, thank you.
appreciate what you shared and the encouragement that you shared for my audience. And we thank you so much for being on Never Ever Give Up Hope.
Yes. Thank you so much. It's truly an honor to be here with you, Carol.
Thank you for listening to Never Ever Give Up Hope, featuring Carol Graham. Did you know that most people succeed because they are determined to? Quitting was never an option. Carol loves your comments and will respond to each one. So please subscribe and review this podcast. A rating of 5 stars would be outstanding and appreciated. Remember, if you are still here, there is always hope.